It's the weirdos again. Oh no, it's the weird. It's the weird. The weird. The weird cosmic space children on the air
we're
again.
in hell. Sure. No, here we go into the depths of hell, into the earth. Look, it's a lot colder down here than up there.
Yeah. I mean,
alas, I can't stay in hell, so I have to go back to the real world where everything is like sort of temporally limited.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you die, you die. But in hell, it's eternal, so it's fine. If you die in hell, you just keep dying over and over again, and it doesn't really have an end. Like, it doesn't really matter, does it? But then as soon as you go back to the planet and everything is on fire, you see that it's very limited resources that are being destroyed.
I'm currently a little bit concerned for the residents of hell, because if it's this hot here with the climate change, imagine how hot it is in hell, where it was already fire.
Well, we've already established that it's actually cooler in hell, isn't it, than up there?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. So we're here in hell, the planet is boiling, the American government and the Israelis and presumably the UK as well, who've become very good at hiding what they're doing, have been doing appalling things in Iran, and nobody seems to be talking about how the mad colonial powers' insistence on blowing everything up might be impacting on the climate. In fact, I haven't seen one article about that.
Of course not. I wonder if it's deliberate or if it's the people are really that stupid.
I think it's deliberate.
Bit of both, I think. But, I mean, you know, when you talk to a sort of person who's never had anything to think about and has always had everything presented to them on a plate, they do come across as, like, remember that woman asked me when we did a gig, and she said, where are you living? And I said, well, I haven't got anywhere to live at the moment. I'm no fixed abodes.
Oh, do you enjoy that?
Homeless.
Do you enjoy that? Yeah, do you enjoy being homeless?
I mean, like...
No one has ever enjoyed being homeless.
No, of course not. I mean,
but it says something...
But that woman went to uni, presumably...
It says something about this being a 75% bourgeois population.
Oh, it's just a really stupid thing to say, but I've had this kind of thing over and over again, like... just things that are, wow, I don't know, like, for instance, when we went to a gig, and the two Palestinian artists playing were asked as a, what was it? It was...
Oh, I can't remember, but they were chaperoned. It was just a really... No, it was like, how do you feel about this as a... Speaking as an Arab.
As an Arab man.
And the guy was like... They didn't know how to answer it.
The guy was like, well, what does that... What do you mean, like, as a doctor, or as, like, a poet, or a musician, or a builder? Like, what are you talking about? You know, just this kind of thing. It's A, obviously really offensive and racist, but B... I mean, the person asking it had presumably been to college. Like, how can you be so stupid?
Well, it's come out today, and it's reported. It's reported on. You know, it's legitimate information. It's come out today that MI6 have a special department, especially for creating disinformation about Iran specifically. Where 70% of women are PhDs. I think we can get arrested though for saying anything positive about another country that I've got no reason to have a problem with.
Hell anyway, so whatever.
Yeah.
I just don't really care. Like, you know.
So don't arrest us. I just like people if they're nice people. I don't like people if they're horrible people and thoughtless and stupid.
It's just the thing of like saying that like an entire population is going to share the same opinion. We all know that is obviously not true.
That's not how reality
works, does it? In fact, the only time that an entire population shares an opinion is when they're repeating propaganda, which is other people's opinions in your head.
Yep.
So, I don't know.
And now we know this statistic that only 30% of people now have an interior monologue. Use their internal monologue.
I think it's switched off. Is the problem. Like, you've let it be switched off.
Yeah, and I think back to John Cassavetes in that interview going, I hate entertainment, I hate it, I hate it, I hate entertainment. Because it's true. Like, and the like television and internet, and I think more so since on demand, since you're just watching what you want to watch, it has stopped people's capacity to think, for sure.
Yeah, really.
The thing of being consistently entertained with something, consistently occupied with something.
But it also means that you haven't got a personality anymore.
Yeah, I always go back to the scene in Tarkovsky's Andrei Rublev, and it hit me really hard the first time I saw it, and I didn't really know why, and it took me a while to figure it out. There's this long scene in Andrei Rublev where it's just people are sitting around and it's raining outside, and all the people are taking shelter, and they're just sat there, and one person is like doing some clowning tricks by which a couple of people are vaguely amused, but everyone else is just sat there looking into space. And when they are sat there looking into space, one gets the feeling that that there was a use for sitting around looking into space, because that's when you think.
Yeah.
And if you can't think, and you can only repeat propaganda like, every single member of my family, apart from a few, then you are you any longer a being if you're not thinking for yourself?
Well,
are you existing?
Yeah, exactly. Hegel and other philosophy people sort of, a lot of them had fairly, wacky ideas, but I think it's a point that you only really, when you're exercising like self-consciousness, that's sort of when you're like kind of existing. That's how you differentiate yourself from just, being a rock. But we'd never actually talked to a rock. None of us know what their internal world is like, so I don't want to sort of offend all the object-oriented ontologists. But if you're not using your brain, then, we know that if you use your brain more, you stave off various illnesses, like a lot of the but also there's like weird things, isn't there, about like what people retire and then they just die.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think it's like, and a lot of people don't stop working because they're like, I don't want to. If I stop working, I'll just die. And so it's like, there's obviously a thing like, if you kind of exercise your self-consciousness more and sort of like the Hegel thing was the idea that the person who kind of like actualizes their sort of like inner thing in the external world and uses like tools and stuff, like you have more being than the kind of like the person who's like getting everyone to do something for them all the time. So I don't know, I'm inclined to agree with it. I think that it's something about keeping yourself thinking all the time staves off like disease.
Yep. And also the climate that we live in now.
What hell?
But also the political climate and the way that the media operates and the way that the governments are operating. It makes me think of in Duck Soup when Chico Marx says to Margaret Dumont, "Who are you going to believe, me or your own eyes?" And the majority of the planet, I don't know about the planet, but certainly the majority in this country have spent the last 3 years not believing their own eyes and believing the newspapers instead. The insidiousness of fact check. Well, fact check doesn't work if your media is compromised now, does it? Fact check.
What is fact check?
Fact check is what comes up now on absolutely everything. If there's some claim, it's like, well, no, this isn't a fact because the whatever company's AI says this is a fact, and that's not. And there's many things which I know well to be facts. That fact, and not in a conspiracy theory way, but in a like art historian way. And it's told me that it makes mistakes. But also, fact check the last 3 years would say there was no genocide in Gaza. So are we going to trust fact check? Now we're openly allowed to. We cannot be arrested for saying there is a Holocaust in Gaza. We can't be arrested for that because the United Nations have finally, after 3 years, got off their like chairs or stopped snorting coke for a bit and looked at the images and gone, all right, yeah, I wonder what they've been doing the last 3 years.
Well, they just, I think,
But yeah,
they sit around, they see it as work, everybody's very disconnected, there's some sort of like mass kind of sociopathy that's fallen over the entire population. It's kind of like, I don't know, soul loss. Oh yes, but it's actually very complicated, not when you're actually like dealing with kind of the yes or no, this person is being killed. Like,
but also what's weird is that I think now, like particularly like people in my family who have been like Holocaust apologists the whole time, if I confronted about them now, they will not have changed their point of view, and I think that's what's different. I think people in the past would at least pretend
I think there's a kind of thing that's
to have been on the side of not murdering all the children.
I think maybe the
But
fact
now
is
they
that,
don't.
like, people,
Now they're arrogant in their belief that it's sometimes fine to murder all the children.
Or it's this
Hey, mum and dad,
disconnect.
how you doing?
Or it's like this disconnect thing that's happened with the internet, where people talked about it with road rage, that if you've got two people with like a screen in between, it kind of does something where a lot of people can't see the other person as a person, and they scream at them as an object. And I figured the phone has done that in like a...
Oh, yeah.
What was all this stuff of like our parents telling us don't sit too close to the TV, you'll get square eyes.
And now their generation...
But everybody's got square eyes now.
But that generation, the one they call the boomer generation, are the ones who spend the most time on Facebook. They're the ones who spend the most time looking at propaganda. Also, my generation are very, very guilty of it, as are your generation.
Well, I'm Gen Z. I mean, everyone, basically, apart from people who went through World War II.
Yeah, so if you've been a Holocaust apologist for the best part of the last 3 years, how are you feeling now? How does that make you feel? Are you proud of it? Or do you think maybe you ought to have a little rethink? Now, I'm not saying this to, like, you, dear listeners, because...
Unless you are.
But the chances are, if you tune into our show, you're not a Holocaust apologist, because you wouldn't like our show. But I guess I'm saying this because this is a message that has to be said to these people now. These people have done that. These people, in their silence, have been complicit, and it's time to start bringing people up on it. Now, after all that, 13 minutes of well-delivered, eloquent, I would say, vitriol.
Oh, I'm just sad, really.
Yeah.
It's not, sorry I interrupted, but I just, the human race, it's really, really gone downhill, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like, considering like people are like capable of stuff and good at things, I think it's a real shame that is also happy to just burn the planet.
Yeah.
Stop eating dead baby animals. Stop going on holiday. Stop driving unnecessarily. Like, you know what I mean? Like, stop the thing. I was having a conversation yesterday, and people talking about like the whole thing about choice, whether or not most people eat whatever they can get. But the fact is, in this country, like, most people have got a lot of money, and you can eat other things. Like, I mean, where we live, it is mostly just dead animal stuff. We still manage to eat like pretty well every day from the very limited amount of stuff that they sell in the co-op. So it's just...
I drive a strange Rover.
It's just not... It's just, if you have ample other choices other than the thing that, like, screams and begs for its life and, like, defecates when you stab it in the throat, and then a lot of them have their skin ripped off while they're still alive, and that's just oh no, don't talk about, oh no, you shouldn't...
Do you know what you call that, Lottie? Civilization.
Yeah, wow, great. I'm sure you're always going to have...
We're very civilised, aren't we?
Sure, you're always going to have... we can't have a society where humans live in any sort of like peace or happiness if the entire world is run on the blood of various sentient beings.
Yeah.
So stop eating it.
Yeah. So we're all about not just going on about how terrible everything is, but you have to acknowledge it. But
you have to acknowledge it, and then you've got to do something to change it. Like,
Yeah.
we can change it. We're never going to make it cooler, but we can stop it getting any worse. So you really need to stop your disruptive behaviour now.
yeah. Now,
And that includes me as well.
I find that as you go through the myriad problems in society, what we need to do, rather than think of it as one enormous project, we need to solve all the little problems individually. And that means like going into little finite corners of society to solve the problem. And in my opinion, one of those problems, I think you'll agree, Lottie, is that all of those talented, hard-working male celebrities are just working too hard. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
They're not getting enough time, like I was saying earlier, just to have thoughts, to think, to rest, to recharge. And as artists and broadcasters keen to solve the many problems in society, you can use art and speculative kind of approaches to look at how some of the problems might be solved. And basically all those male celebrities who have such a difficult time, we could save them by bombing them, because that's how you save
What was
people.
the quote?
You bomb
We're
them.
Bombing them to save them.
Yeah.
Was that Clinton or?
It was someone.
Possibly.
So, but it's going to be expensive to bomb all of those male celebrities. So instead of bombing them, what we've done is we've opened up a luxury spa, kind of like a sanatorium for famous men, haven't we, Lottie?
Like the Kellogg thing.
Yeah, like Dr. Kellogg's lab, but only for famous
But I'm
men.
not going to do. I get someone else in to do this.
Oh yeah, we don't do the rub downs.
I'm not touching it.
No, we don't do the rub downs. We do more the curating, the PR side of things, the reaching out to famous celebrity men, talented, famous men, and saying, do you need a little time away from the wild buzz of the media industry? Well, come to Dr. Ergo's Pat Health Spa and have a wonderful time. And when we opened the health spa, we thought it would be a wonderful idea to make some recordings in the health spa in the form of, yes, an amazing musical. And I know you all like musicals, because what are musicals, Lottie?
They're the popular art form.
The most popular art form. Why don't you try doing something more commercial? Well, here, after all these years, is the most commercial you'll ever hear. Male celebrities, and by celebrities, that can be not just TV stars and movie stars, but pop stars and politicians, all the coolest, most talented and successful guys, all the guys with the money, all the guys with the dollar. So, well, you're gonna have to take your shoes off. Okay, take your shoes off. I've got a lovely pair of white slippers for you. There you go, Lottie. Put your slippers on. I put my white. All right, listen, have you got your slippers on?
I know I have.
Right, we're going to go into the health spa right now, and we'll see you on the other side after you've had a lovely pamper session, okay? Because you can join in. You can join in. Here we go.
white tank top clinging thin, soap on the collarbone slow and glide, bathroom heat with the door shut tight, Johnny Greenwood slick and warm, Bob bath body in perfect form, Johnny Greenwood shine and sway, look for love in the vapour haze. Johnny leaned back in the porcelain throne, water running down that paper chair slow, lavender foam on the sharp cut hips, mint old gloss on the soft pink lips, hands full of soap and the sponge pressed flat, tracing little circles across his back, steam made halos from bathroom light, everything wet and silver light. Johnny Greenwood with a shampoo stare, fingers combing slowly through his hair, towel hanging on narrow waist, whole room thick with a citrus taste, washcloth sliding, long slim thighs, half lit of dreamy exhausted eyes, bathwater rippling around that frame, every little motion driving me insane. Scrub Johnny Greenwood seam on skin, wet white tank clinging thin, soap on the collarbone slow hand glide, bathroom heat with the door shut tight, Johnny Greenwood slick and warm, Bob bath body in perfect form, Johnny Greenwood shine and sway, look for love in the vapour haze. Yeah. Coconut body, oil catch light, sliding down shoulders, shining bright. Johnny laugh low while the warm spray hit. Fogged up mirror, candlelit drip. Fresh shave, smooth and delicate jaw. Towel rub slow till the whole room thawed. Eucalyptus breath, humid air. Wet skin gleaming everywhere. Bubble bath overflowing on the tile. Johnny Greenwood giving that smile. Robe half open, chest still wet. Cleanest man I ever met. Soft hands, warm steam, peppermint sheen, bathroom glowing neon green. Every scrub stroke making sparks take wind. Bath time prince, art rock king. Yeah, give it up. Come on! Scrub Johnny Greenwood seam on skin, wet white tank top clinging thin, soap on the collarbone slow hand glide, bathroom heat with the door shut tight. Slick and warm. Perfect form, shine and sway, vapour haze, steam on skin, clinging thin. Scrub. Fresh out the steam, smoke crack king, yeah, I like keeping clean. Boreanus, smooth like jazz. Whole squad jealous and my boy Boreanus. Roll through slow with the low top fade. Got a framed up poster like a shrine I made. Everybody talk tough, everybody act tight. I'm just thinking about Boreanus in the backyard. Bubble bath ready and the towels all warm. Candles lit up while I weather the storm. Mob boss energy, soft heart too. Only man alive made the gangster feel cute. I hustle all day, big chain swing, but I still daydream about that spa day king. Little sponge, warm water, lavender splash. Me and Boreanus counting up cash. Boreanus, fresh out the steam. Sponge breath king, yeah, I keep him clean. Boreanus, smooth like jazz. Whole squad jealous of my boy Boreanus. Let the cold dragon step in the room. Boreanus smile make the whole place bloom. Got the old school soul and the TV glare. I'd moisturize Boreanus like a billionaire. No drama here, just lotion and peace. Face mask on while the street wars cease. Everybody gangs until the bath salts drop. Then it's past the sponge and the hot dog stall. Chrome rims outside, jazz on low. Me and Boreanus letting good vibes flow. Big bad world, but I know my path. Straight to Boreanus in the bubble bath. Boreanus, king of the scene. Luxury towels and the skincare cream. Boreanus, never look back. Sponge bad dreams in the Cadillac, yeah. Come on. Boreanus, come on. Boreanus, come on. Oi! Boreanus step in, all dance all up. Big bad swagger and the boots them stomp. Rude boy shine with the vampire grin. Everybody falls when Boreanaz walk in. Soap on deck, want the warm water run. Gangster from the ends, but me still have fun. Sponge real soft and the towel fresh clean. Boreanaz like a magazine scene. Pull up, wheel up, select to rewind. Can't nobody touch this king of mine. Steam rise high while the bassline slap. Me and Boreanaz in the old school lap. Bubble bath boss when the gold chain glow. Girls scream loud when Boreanaz show. From LA Nights to the Kingston Path. Whole crew know about the legendary bath. Yeah. Yeah, Boreanaz lean back. Boreanaz lean back, steam in the air. Water drips slow through the chestnut hair. Whole room quiet, lavender splash. I'm treating that back like a worker class. Slow with the sponge, gotta get it right. Boreanaz laughing in the candlelight. Soap should shine on the broad back frame. I swear even clouds spell out his name. Big tough guy, but I move real gentle. Massaging them shoulders, healing mental. Every little curl got the gold tone gloss. Washing Boreanaz like a luxury boss. Fresh white towel and jazz beat crack. Can't nobody compete with a legendary back. Streetwise love with a spa day pack. Live my dream in the Boreanaz bath. Yeah. Come on. In the Boreanaz bath. Living my dream in the Boreanaz bath. Boreanaz bubbles and steam. Hairy back shining like a gangster dream. Boreanaz king of the bath. Whole world soft when I sponge that bath. Boreanaz soap suds drip while the low lights glow. Boreanaz boss of my heart. Me and Boreanaz never drift apart. Powder and peace. Elon Levy clocks out, leaves the world behind, trading busy afternoons for a quieter mind. Elon Levy smiles as the warm lights glow. Everybody's saying take it nice and slow. Sponge bath first with a soft warm foam. Every little treatment through the little like home. Gentle exfoliate, fresh as the dawn. Every bit of stress quietly gone. Elon Levy, smooth and bright, floating through the spa from morning to night. Talcum powder drifting soft white cloud, looking so relaxed, never rushing through the crowd. Elon Levy, easy and free, nothing beats a little peaceful luxury. Cooling face mask, cucumber delight, everything feeling perfectly right. Soft cow pat down, careful and kind, leaving every happy thought behind. Back rub slow with lavender air, peace and quiet settling everywhere. Reiki session, calm in the room. Bowen treatment helping worries bloom. Elon Levy, smooth and bright, floating to the spa from the morning and night. Talcum powder, soft white cloud, looking so relaxed, never rushing through the crowd. Elon Levy, easy and free, nothing beats a little peaceful luxury, yeah. Ooh, fragrant oils, rosemary bloom, gentle perfume filling up the room. Sandalwood, jasmine, cedarwood too. Everything refreshed from head to shoe. Elon Levy leaves with an easy stride. Fresh perspective and a little more pride. One last dust until floating light. Elon Levy glowing into the night. Elon Levy calm as can be, living for a moment of tranquility. Soft white talcum spa day bliss. Sometimes all the world needs a moment like this. Elon Levy, peaceful and proud, floating home, powder soft cloud. Elon Levy, powder soft cloud. Yeah. Elon Levy having its spa day treat. The spa day ended with a laugh and a grin. Nothing but good vibes from the moment he walks in. The wellness band says he's one final treat. Gentle little bongo with a playful beat. Bumba bum bum, bubba dum dum, keeping every rhythm in an easy mode. Elon Levy laughing, saying, what a day. Marching out refreshed in a carefree way. Elon Levy, smooth and bright. Bongo beats in the rhythm just right. Talcum powder, soft white cloud. Spa day champion, happy and proud. Elon Levy, peaceful and free. Nothing beats tranquility. Soft little bongos, laughter all around. Well-being swinging to a mellow, mellow sound. Yeah. Give it up for Elon Levy's spa day treatment. Give it up. Elon Levy's home, the spa day's complete. Fresh pair of pajamas, slippers on his feet. Microphone waiting with a warm red light. Ready for a podcast on a peaceful night. Cup of herbal tea, comfy in his chair. Soft voice rolling gently through the air. Still smelling of the fragrant oils from before. Chatting with a smile when the listeners want more. Elon Levy, cool and composed. Podcast rolling while the days unfold. Pajamas on, feeling mellow and free. Broadcasting comfort with the evening tea. Talcum powder, soft as a cloud. Spa day glow, still making him proud. Elon Levy is the day just right. Pajamas podcast, peaceful night. Pajamas podcast, peaceful night. Pajamas podcast, peaceful night. Pajamas podcast, peaceful night. Give it up. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Aye! Who's in the spa? Ben Gavir. Who's getting the glow? Ben Gavir. Towels up. Candles lit. Luxury mode. We're running this. Yeah, give it up. Ben Gavir. Ben Gavir. Step in the room, let the whole place hear. Scrub, 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 clean that vibe. Moisturize, shine like a superstar ride. Ben Gavir, spa day energy, everybody here. Pat, pat down, make the rhythm go. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go. Ben Gavir in the chair with the rope so fresh. Face scrub working, feeling his best. Ben Gavir said, yo, bring that cream. Now he's floating in the moisturizer dream. Ben Gavir got the towel, got the glow. Ben Gavir got the spa beat, moving slow. No stress, no rush, just a pamper parade. Big time skincare, upgrade, scrub on the cheek, lotion on the skin.
Do you know what, Lottie? I think that time we just spent in the spa, you know what that proves? It proves that you can make something about getting clean that makes you feel really filthy afterwards.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah. Well, why should washing? Why should washing? Such an innocent, a pure act of cleanliness, and remember, cleanliness is next to godliness. Why should washing make us feel that way? How do you feel, listener? Do you feel cleaned after your time in the spa, or do you feel a little bit dirty now? Just a little bit dirty. Who did you enjoy getting washed the most? I know who you enjoy getting washed the most.
Me?
Johnny Greenwood.
Oh, yeah.
You love Johnny Greenwood getting washed. Me, I'm a real sucker for Michael Ball, because he has such a lovely time.
I think Johnny Greenwood needs to wash out his mouth as well, really.
Yeah, Michael Ball does not need to wash out his mouth, does he?
No, he's a nice man.
Michael Ball, not only a nice man, but he's got much better pipes than Johnny Greenwood. I've never even heard Johnny Greenwood sing.
I've never heard Johnny Greenwood sing.
I don't think I've heard him speak. Does he speak? Or does he just look dour?
Oh no, I met him and he spoke.
He said some words.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said, thank you very much.
Oh yeah.
Said, oh, you're a young musician.
Oh, and then didn't a really stupid friend of yours decide to give him some musical advice?
And then a guy I know did some negging of him. A Radiohead fan that I know did some, was insulting to Johnny Greenwood, and he, like saying, oh yeah, I think you should do more of this, more of the minimal techno stuff, and then Johnny Greenwood was like, oh, you think that we should do more blah blah blah, you know, I kind of felt really real bad for Johnny Greenwood.
Johnny Greenwood.
In that moment.
Well, he's feeling better now.
Well,
He's had a lovely scrub, a lovely pamper, a lovely wash. Everything's lovely and clean. No untoward odours anywhere. Michael Ball is so clean that he's oiled up and right now sliding across the floor of his mansion. Jason Giorgiani is lovely and clean, and he's also just yesterday discovered the lovely new rap we did about him, which you can find on the YouTube. So, in case you haven't noticed, there's been a lot of these amazing musicals later.
Yeah.
And
I went to theatre school. I'm all about musicals.
yeah, and I've spent my life being told I ought to be doing something more commercial, so you can't go wrong with musicals, can you? And we've had rap musicals and rock musicals, PAMPERTIME.
Musicals like Cats,
Well, I could do one about cats. I could do an amazing musical about some cats. I can't use T.S. Eliot, unfortunately, because Lord Webster, the bedroom taxer, has got that.
There should be a new musical about cats. What should it be about? With like,
just about the everyday life
sort
of the domestic
disgusting
cat.
As well.
Yeah.
We have to include all the stuff about like sort of
The nasty
the
things that
reproductive-
maybe, yeah.
Maybe it could be a lot more gritty.
Yeah, the gritty realist version of Cats, I think, is a really good idea. I would like to see the gritty realist version of Starlight Express that's just loads of trains in theatre. I think that'd be brilliant.
That could be the new sort of Ayn Rand influenced musical.
Yeah, or the gritty realist version of Sunset Boulevard where you just watch the film. Oh yes, gritty realist versions of musicals is a lovely idea. Joseph and the Amazing Gilet.
It's not Technicolor though, they're usually beige, aren't they?
Yeah, beige, or sometimes you see them in the brightly coloured ones.
It's never good.
No. So, but the next thing that you're going to hear on this broadcast is not a musical. It's a change of direction for me, Lottie. It's an opera. I'm graduating from musicals to opera now. So I've done like the commercial, I've taken the West End and Broadway. Now I'm going to aim for like the Maggio in Florence or somewhere like that. I'm going to aim one day get there and do some networking. And this is an amazing music opera. For people who haven't heard our amazing music shows before, even though we know like AI's awful and shouldn't use it, only using it a tiny little bit.
But not for the music, so that's already on
You
YouTube.
find some AI music
Someone
on
else made
YouTube. It's full of it.
Yeah, no one needs to make any more.
No, you find some AI music on YouTube. You get the chatbot to write a rap on a given subject. Then you press record on one device, press play on the other device, and then you got to riff that rap or that song, or as it were, that opera over the top of the music, not knowing what's going to happen in the music. It's not that difficult because the AI music is usually predictable. Sometimes, like in the case of our Tom DeLonge song, not predictable
Oh, that was exciting.
at all. And, well, the next amazing piece, the amazing opera that we're going to play to you is almost data center neutral.
Yeah, almost.
Because the music comes from this amazing new genre of music, which is AI classical music. And oh my
it's
goodness,
amazing.
listeners, dear
Oh,
listeners.
you've got no idea.
Yeah, to composers who have been writing.
To people who know about
music.
classical music is
There
very funny.
are strange and wonderful
It's
and
really,
extremely
really
bland things happening in there. Occasionally, something will happen that makes you go whoa, and occasionally it sounds like the rake's progress. But
Yeah.
there are some. I found some AI baroque the other day, and it had like taken the notions of counterpoint. It had taken for example, I'd say it had taken the structure of a fugue, but the notes were
There's
just
no,
random.
Like, because there's rules, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean,
There
it's
was
really-
no internal. Like, that's the thing about it that I think is also wonderful. Like, I'm not one of these people who's completely anti-machine learning, because machine learning has done some amazing things.
I think
Just today, I saw that machine learning has deciphered and translated loads of like old materials recently, including a Dead Sea Scroll that they think that the machine learning has figured out. The Dead Sea Scroll comes from about 100 AD, so
Wow.
like about 70 years
Also
after Jesus.
But also
And the stuff with working out how whales speak, how to communicate with animals. Machine learning could be a fantastic thing, but there needs to be.
What was the other thing? There was a new bit of research that came through, which was comparing lots of brain scans of people who are neurodivergent or autistic. It was about autism, and there was found that there's actually 4 distinct groups that are within that we fit into different groups as well. So, I mean, there you go. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
But it just needs to be. I don't understand why it can't be all put onto these sort of like closed loop systems and everything like that. And they could just sort of do the thing that you need to do to make it work better.
Exactly. But also, I think machine learning mainly, perhaps it should be in academia.
I think so. Yeah.
But
It shouldn't just be integrated into everything on the internet, so that you have to like find all these ways of like disabling
Avoiding it,
And
yeah.
I know it also makes it so that when you're trying to use the internet, it's functionally useless now, because you're just getting an overview of lots of opinions at the top, and then the first things that it shows you are like Reddit and other forums, and it's kind of. And then I found a way of getting rid of the AI overview on Google. You write -AI at the end of any search, and it takes it out, and I did it, and then suddenly there was all this information, like websites, stuff that had information in it and everything. So yeah, top tip.
yeah, with AI music, well, people say it threatens the livelihoods of musicians. In my opinion, what it does is it threatens the livelihoods. This is going to make me very unpopular. It threatens the livelihood of unimaginative musicians. The fact that a machine can now imitate everything, like stylistically, that humans can do. So a machine can make a generic soft rock track or a generic symphonic metal track or whatever. And it's just automated MIDI, basically. It's not really even that sort of complex.
There's probably a way of making something where it does it with much less in the way of resources as well.
But what it actually does is create things which are generic, and so it will lessen the necessity for things like library music. But library music hasn't really been there because everybody's been doing like paid needle drop movies anyway and things. And so AI is only a threat to musicians and artists if what you are doing can be replicated by a machine. And if what you're doing can be replicated by a machine, that would imply that you should be trying a little harder. We talk because of capitalism as if we've discovered absolutely everything. But the fact is, in reality, the last 100 years have pushed us through various mechanistic systems, and we've been kind of taken from one thing to the other without being able to explore the potential of the other thing that came before. So now I work a lot with gramophones and magic lanterns and old things that spin around and stuff that can be used in different ways. Stuff that can be explored and manipulated and played with, stuff that uses things like actual light and stuff that hits actual things that vibrate in ways that are surprising. And guess what? A machine learning wouldn't be able to read it. It's possible, for example, further to Goody Pal's idea of the unscannable document, it's possible to create unscannable music. I've just made a rock record, and there are a fair few tracks on there which are in fact unscannable, because underneath the sort of guitar, bass, drums basis of it, there are irregular repetitions of mechanical objects. So a computer would not be able to take a single bar of that music and make sense of it, and so consequently, presumably, music like this can't be used to train AIs. It would be useless, because it would just confuse the machine. And if you want to rebel against the machine learning revolution, then do things to confuse it. Play with your virtual reality, but avoid using it for the most part,
because it's killing the planet.
Because it's killing the planet. But
you know, it is the. I was thinking about this in reference to sort of like, you know, the sort of
the meat industry and everything else is killing the planet.
Yeah,
too.
like, and also that involves like sentient animals a lot. But then also with data centers, the kind of dragging up all the water from the rivers with all the fish, and then they end up on the grill and everything dies. I mean, we got to turn it all off, really. Into
I'm of the opinion now that we have to turn everything off. I'm of the opinion that people have to go back to a sort of medieval way of living,
which isn't that different from now, really. Like, the only thing there
not
is
moving around so much. I think the world has to, society has to pause for 5 to 10 years at this point.
Whenever anyone dreams about sort of like retirement stuff, what they talk about is growing stuff in their garden, their food a lot of the time in the garden, which is the life of a medieval person. So basically, all of we functionally we're not that different. Most people want to just sort of like have an allotment, which is the same as the medieval person. Yep. So it's just like,
and we're told we have all these desires by Hollywood and
we don't.
No, we don't.
You're being told that you want things that you probably actually don't want. There was, I think I remember this study a while ago where some people asked, like, some people asked a bunch of normal, non-advertising industry people what they wanted in life, and then what they thought of as like what they thought of like fast cars and blah blah blah, and they found out that most people didn't. The advertisers went in doing the survey thinking that, or the normal people would say they wanted to be famous and have a Ferrari or whatever, but actually what everyone wanted was like a life with a place to live,
a peaceful, simple
enough
life
to feed their kids and themselves, and then maybe go out to the cinema every now and again, or maybe go on holiday every now and again, which
tellingly, the people with the psychopathic desires are the psychopaths who are at the top.
But then the advertisers also answered the survey questions, and none of them wanted that either. No. So like, they all wanted the quiet life to stay at home and like grow tomatoes in like the garden. So nobody actually wants it. So like, stop echoing other people's. Like, you don't even really want the thing.
No. Who was it that was talking about the mimetic thing? Was that paedophile?
Well, that's I mean, the guy that he's into, I think, is it someone Girard, a philosopher? He got well into this guy. That guy who had this theory of mimetic desire, that people are
that everybody's desire is based on seeing other people desiring the thing.
And then you figure out whether or not that's what you should be doing, sort of thing.
You're a very strange species, humans.
Confusing time.
You're totally bizarre.
Really, really.
And I don't understand.
I don't understand any of you at all. I do not understand any of you at all.
You're bizarre. You're mad.
Like, I've
You're
been told
mad.
that it's me for years.
Not you, dear listeners. You know the kind we're talking to.
I mean, it's the majority of, like, you're under a sort of psychic death.
Yeah, a sort of dark spell. Well, you know, there's a lot of threats to our global safety now, between wars and climate change, everything appalling that is happening. But we all know, because Uncle Sam told us, didn't he? Uncle Sam told us that there is no greater threat to our safety than those damn communists. Huh?
Yeah.
The communists, you know, communism.
Yeah,
The idea that stuff should be distributed and shared.
all those evil people
That's
sharing.
so evil. That is so evil.
All that evil sharing, so
Yeah.
people can have somewhere to live and
Oh,
die writhing about in agony in a ditch.
and then people will say, yeah, but what about Russia? Russia never was a communist
not
country.
communist.
Russia never was a communist
It's definitely
country.
not communist
The
now.
Bolsheviks were Bolsheviks. They took some inspiration from Marx, but what they did was never, at any stage, Marxism.
No, Marxism is an analysis.
Yeah. So, this dangerous communism, I've figured that, well, it needed an almost carbon neutral, amazing opera. Almost carbon neutral. So, you go onto YouTube, you search and begin to dip your little foot digits on your floor hands into the magical waters of AI classical music.
Well, doesn't Karl Marx look like Jeremy Beadle?
He does look quite a lot like Jeremy Beadle. There is a copy of a book next to you, and that book is that evil text Kapital by Karl Marx. You know, which describes how evil it would be to share things and distribute things equally. So evil. Well, Marx, in his lifetime, never got to go on stage and sing out his heart. So through the ether, we made it possible for Marx to go on stage and sing his little heart out in Kapital the opera, didn't we?
Yeah.
Via the medium of amazing music. So this doesn't actually have amazing text. It's the text from Kapital, but the amazing music is some AI classical music. Yeah, it's so wonderful. It's some AI classical music, and then the performer Karl Marx was flicking through his text Kapital whilst the music was going on, and trying to work it out that way. This was recorded live at the Met, the Metropolitan Police, and I don't really know what else to say about this. I spent my whole life since I was 12 years old. I wrote and composed opera, and then I started again in my 30s and made many works for stage, music theatre, opera, and then now AI music exists, and I've given it all up. I've given up. I don't write music anymore, do I?
No.
I don't write music.
Stopped all that.
I stopped all that, and now I just, because all the music's already there. I mean, if you've got AI classical music,
Why would you want
to
to become a violinist?
Yeah, exactly. You can just listen to it.
Listen to the pretend classical music.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go over to the Metropolitan Police Opera House now, and we're going to just tune in for a little while to the world premiere
That's
guinea pigs are
that's
excited.
that's the bell for the start of the performance.
Yep. We're going to tune in now to the world premiere of Karl Marx's. Did Engels write the music, maybe?
Yeah, I think he did sort of dramaturgy.
Yeah, dramaturgy by Engels, and music by Amazing. Here is the world premiere, live from the Met, of KAPITAL, the opera.
By this separation of capital into an original, productive, and reserve capital. The capital continuously employed in the process of production amounts to £500 sterling, the working period being 5 weeks. It works 10 times during a working year of 50 weeks. Hence, it's 50 weeks, hence its products, apart from surplus value, is 10 times 500 or £5,000 sterling. From the point of view of a directly and uninterruptedly working capital in the process of production, a capital value of £500 sterling, the time of circulation seems entirely eliminated. The period of turnover coincides with the working period, the time of circulation being as soon as equal to 0. But if the capital of £500 sterling were interrupted in its productive activity by regular times of circulation covering 5 weeks, so that it would not become productively active until after the close of the entire period turnover of 10 weeks. We should have 5 turnovers of 10 weeks each in 50 running weeks. These would comprise 5 periods of production of 5 weeks each, or 25 productive weeks, with a total product of 3 weeks each, or a total period of circulation of 25 weeks. If we say in this case that the capital of £500 sterling has been turned over 5 times in the year, it is evident and obvious that this capital of £500 sterling did not serve at all as a productive capital during 1/2 of each period of turnover, and that, taking all in all, it performed its function only during 1/2 of the year, while it did not serve at all during the other half. The reserve capital of £500 sterling comes to the rescue during those 5 periods of circulation, and the turnover is thus expanded from £2,500 to £5,000, but now the advanced capital is £1,000 instead of £500 sterling. Give it up.
Yeah, come
On
on.
the other hand, money capital or capital value in the form of money cannot perform any other service but that of money. This service appears as a function of capital simply because it plays a certain role in the movements of capital. 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 Give it up for capital. The stage in which this function is performed is interrelated with other stages of the circulation of money capital. Take, for instance, the case with which we are dealing. Money is here exchanged for commodities, which represent the natural form of productive capital. And this form contains in the germ the phenomena of the process of capitalist production. A part of the money performing the function of money capital in the process assumes, in the course of the circulation, a function in which loses capital, character, preserves its money character. The circulation of money capital is divided into the stages M minus P, M and N minus L. Wind was too inconsistent and uncontrollable, and besides in England, the birthplace of modern industry, the use of water power preponderated even during the manufacturing period. In the 17th century, attempts had already been made to turn two pairs of millstones with a single water wheel. Single water wheel. But the increased size of the gearing was too much for the water power, which had now become insufficient. And this was one of the circumstances that led to a more accurate investigation of the laws of friction. In the same way, the irregularity caused by the motive power in mills that were put in motion by pushing and pulling a lever led to the theory and the application of the flywheel. Which afterward played so important a part in modern industry. In this way, during the manufacturing period were developed the first scientific and technical elements of modern mechanical industry. Kreuzstrasse spinning mill was from the very first turned by water. But for all that, the use of water as the predominant motive power was beset with difficulties. It could not be increased at will. It failed. Till the invention of Watt's second and so-called double-acting steam engine was a prime mover found that begot its force by the consonant of coal and water, whose power was entirely under man's control. That was mobile and a means of locomotion that was urban and not like the water wheel, rural and permitted production to be concentrated in towns instead of like the water wheels being scattered up and down the country. Scattered up and down the country. That was of universal technical application. Ha 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 ha! The extra capital which is thus reproduced belongs to the circulating capital. Although the manner of its expenditure is irregular. As it is highly important to remedy every injury to a machine immediately. Every large factory employs, in addition to the regular factory hands, a number of other employees, such as engineers, woodworkers, mechanics, smiths. Every industrial capital, from beginning its career, throws at one single investment enough money into circulation to cover its entire fixed element, which recovers but gradually in the course of years by the sale of its annual products. As it throws at first more money into circulation, then it recovers from it. This is repeated at every renewal of its entire capital in a natural form. It is repeated every year in a certain number of enterprises whose fixed capital must be renewed in its natural form. It is repeated in fragments at every repair, every partial renewal of fixed capital, while more money is on the one hand withdrawn from circulation than is thrown into it. The opposite takes place on the other hand. On the other hand, on the other hand. But altogether independently of actual overwork, let us take first the simple reproduction of productive capital. Assuming that the conditions are the same as those taken for a basis in the first chapter, and that the commodities are bought and sold at their value. Under these conditions, the entire surplus value enters into the individual consumption of the capitalist. Capitalist. As soon as the transformation of the commodity capital into money has taken place, that part of the money which represents the capital value continues in the cycle of industrial capital. The other part, which represents surplus value in the form of gold, enters into general circulation of commodities as a circulation of money emanating from the capitalist, but taking place outside of the circulation of his individual capital.
Oh, that's a new number now, right?
Grape juice, after being pressed, must ferment for a while, then rest for some time, in order to reach a certain degree of perfection. In many branches of industry. The product must pass through a drying process. For instance, in pottery, or be exposed to certain conditions which change its chemical nature. For instance, in bleaching. For instance, in bleaching, winter grain needs 9 months to mature between the time of sowing and harvesting. The labor process is almost entirely suspended. In timber raising, after the sowing and the incidental preliminary work are completed, the seed may require 100 years in order to be transformed into a finished product. And during all this time it requires very insignificant contributions of labor.
Said labour just in time for Keir Starmer to come in on his flute. Amazing.
In all these cases, additional labor is contributed only occasionally.
New scene.
By the purchase of articles of consumption to the value of 500 on the part of the labourer of 2, the capitalist of 2 recovers the value of 500 to the
Can you
which he
blame me for
had
thinking
just
in terms of Islam
held in the shape of commodities,
Would you blame me?
which he now
when
holds in
on my
the
TV, do a
form
bit of
of
research.
money.
They opened a Discover Islam Centre in town. The Discover Islam Centre was opened in Luton Town Centre. And it was opened by Luton Borough Council.
Originally, the immediate result of this transaction, as of any other role of commodities, is the conversion of a given value from the form of commodities into that of money. Nor is the resulting reflux of the money to its point of departure anything specific. If the capitalist of 2 had bought with 500 of money commodities from the capitalist of 1, and then sold to the capitalist of 1 commodities valued at 500, he would
It took me 10 minutes
have
to dig
recovered
and look at
500 in
Yusuf Bonner, that's his name.
money.
Yusuf Bonner was the manager of the centre. This was his 5th religion, was Islam, yeah? He's been everything, even a Jedi, I think.
For the
He's
circulation
worked his
of
way through it. He's obviously
commodities
in that. He's opening a centre in Luton Town Centre, supported by our council.
valued at 1,000. Value exists only articles of utility and objects we leave out of consideration is purely symbolical representation. By tokens, man himself viewed as the impersonation of labor power is a natural object, a thing, although a living conscious thing. And labor is the manifestation of this power residing in him. Therefore an article loses its utility, it also loses its value. An article loses its
On his blog, he said, Christians are wearing suicide vests as wrongful belief. We will not rest until Islam is brought into the home, every home in Luton. Bearing in mind, you've seen the problems they've got. This was only
the reason
2012.
why means of production do not lose their value at the same time that they lose their use value is this. That's the end.
It's getting very violent in this society, isn't it? It's difficult to go and see anything now without a riot breaking out.
I gave up on going outside a long time ago.
Who would have thought that a riot would have broken out at an event which is all about how people should share?
Well, to be fair, there is quite a long precedent of riots breaking out at classical music premieres.
That is true.
Maybe it's something to do with that.
Could it have been to do with the music was too amazing, like at the Rite of Spring?
Well, usually that's because it's too dissonant, maybe.
Yeah. This is a very nice cup of slightly lukewarm coffee I'm finishing off right now, dear listeners. Just give me a moment. Fair trade, gold roast. It's coffee. You can drink it, buy it with money, drink it with mouth, and wee it out later. Now, that was KAPITAL the opera, and I'm sure you'll agree it was pretty amazing. Don't you think Karl Marx had a good, big, booming voice?
Yeah. Well, I always knew his beard's the giveaway, really.
Yeah, that beard implies a good, big, strong, booming voice, doesn't it? Yes, it does, dear listeners. So you've had so much already in this program. Don't you think, dear listeners, that Magic Fun Time is a particularly luxurious place in the radio landscape? Where else do you get an amazing opera about sharing and an amazing musical about sharing loofahs? Nowhere. Just here on Magic Fun Time, and the only radio station cool enough to put us on a sound art radio, one of the last bastions of critical thinking in this very strange, backwards, opposite land kind of landscape that we live
really
inside.
Weirdly terrifying, but really boring at the same time. I don't really understand how that works.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's weird. I was expecting like end times to be a lot more like, I don't know, showering.
A lot more tank girlish, rather than just people being bland, wearing gilets, doing bake sales, pretending nothing's happening.
Like, oh look, Aldi have got the carrots thing again.
At least go for the, at least, have the drama of the apocalypse.
A little bit,
don't pretend it's not happening. Get an undercut.
Get an undercut. Fifth Element would be nice.
It would be nice, wouldn't it? But that's what all the science fiction writers got wrong about the apocalypse, was that it's really boring and really turgid.
Boring.
Yeah.
Society is boring.
Yeah, and society shouldn't be boring. There are many ways you can liven up society. And we do our best. It's not always easy, because there's not that many places where you're allowed to liven things up anymore.
Unless you pay to get in.
Unless, a lot of money. Some venues now charge £1,000 per hour for hire.
Yeah.
Which, from the outset, is going to be very difficult to break even on. And so there is no possible space for artists who don't conform to this bizarre system of silence and complicity that we live inside. Now, I haven't talked today about technician Chris, who is there at Sound Art, thinking, "Oh no, what are they doing now?" And I think that because Chris is sat in that studio and it's very, very hot, I think that we should have a little Christmas time for Chris, because he sat in the studio. Okay, so Christmas time for Chris. That's quite a good sleigh bells, isn't it?
Yeah. Or it could be ice in a cocktail shaker.
Yeah, ice.
And then it's both seasons in one.
Christmas for Chris, lovely and cool in the studio there. Christmas for Chris, radio reindeers. Christmas for Chris, radio reindeers. Christmas for Chris, radio reindeer. With that big beard, you look so fly. You could be Santa Claus all the time. With that big beard, you look so cool that you're gonna be so cold in the Arctic. Ba 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 ba. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scenes. Reindeer, Christmas, you're the one that holds it down.
Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down. Big up Chris, keep the sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud. You're the one that holds it down.
Chris, we need independent media now more than ever. The entire media that is surrounding you is compromised. Your fact check is compromised. Yes, hard to believe, isn't it? But it's true. Truth is becoming increasingly difficult to find. Truth isn't on your phone. Truth isn't on your computer. Truth is in the air you breathe and all around you, and immutable and permanent. And there is no such thing as a post-truth age. People the last few years who have denied the obvious, apparent thing that's happening in the Gaza Strip have chosen that. You know, because you can see what's going on in the Gaza Strip. And if you're saying it's not, then that's you making a choice to do that.
And also it's all interconnected with every other issue that we've got. All of these industries are together causing the death of the entire planet. They're all the same industries.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and so like we were saying earlier, we can go back to like a simpler way of living. I think that this is as essential at this point to be like the people in the Tarkovsky movie, to spend time thinking and figuring,
But you know,
dreaming.
the other thing as well is like as a musician and whatever, throughout my life, I've had lots of people come up to me and say, "Oh, I'd love to do that," and then the pandemic happened and the lockdown, and suddenly everyone was really bored. And it's like, well, there's your perfect opportunity to get into it, and it's so, you know, like the lack of entertainment distraction things is how you make music and how you do stuff like that. You've got to get off your phone first to do it.
There's no excuse for boredom. There is no excuse for boredom. There is always something to do. There's always something to think about. There's always something to read. There's always amazing old movies that might change your world that you've never seen before. Paintings. There's paintings you can make. There's poetry you can write. There are animals and plants that you don't know the names of. The world has so many things to do in it, many of which you can do sitting in your room. And the fact that this society sort of sits around on its bed eating crisps while the world burns and says, "I'm bored," when actually you have inside your head one of the most complex things in the universe, your brain. So use it, and then you might be the people that fix everything. You might come up with the idea that catalyzes the fixing of absolutely everything. Who knows, it could be you.
Or you might find a way of, even if it's not you, getting into something like music and everything. If I hadn't have gotten into playing music, I would be dead. So, you know, by my own hand, many years ago, because it's a method of taking yourself out and putting yourself in the transcendent and stuff. And if I didn't have that, I don't know what I would do. And you know, you don't just have to be a player of music. You could go and listen to it on YouTube and listen to, I don't know, go and listen to Messiaen's Quartet for the End of Time.
And just listen to it.
Listen to it. Don't
do anything else.
Listen to it, and also like read a little bit about the history of it. That he wrote it when he was interned in a Nazi prisoner of war camp. So he wrote it for a strange instrumentation for a quartet, because it was musicians that were in the horrible prior fascist thing. So read that and like listen, just really go and sort of like sit and blank out any sort of distractions and just really kind of have a listen to it, and with the names of the movements and what he's trying to convey, and that's the kind of thing that comes out of not being entertained. Is stuff like these great works of art.
Seek to not be entertained, seek to be challenged.
Or just blown away, lifted, like the Lighthouse family, you say.
We could be lifted from the shadows, lifted, We know the guy who played drums on that track.
Yeah, we do.
You know him much better than I do. But I did used to work with him back in the day. We worked in the same college, me and the Lighthouse family drummer. Lighthouse family drummer's a friend of your family, isn't he?
He is.
And he's a lovely man too.
He is.
And
I had to take him to hospital once when he swallowed a wasp.
Oh dear. And he's also a pioneer of the anti-tinnitus revolution or something,
he's amazing.
he?
Rupert Brown.
Excellent
Musician.
And a lovely man.
And a tap dancer as well.
No, I didn't know that.
And he used to be a very good footballer as well, but I haven't really ever asked him about it. But he was very well renowned for his tap dance, football, drumming, and all sorts of like mad polyrhythms, and also like that classic in the 90s, you know, like the that like classic 90s rhythm. Back to life, that one. Back to reality. Be lifted from there.
Ocean Drive, don't know why it's so
With that
blue.
drum
The sun's
beat.
gonna shine on
It's
everything
got like
you
a tubular
do.
bells thing. Like
Oh
the twig-
yeah.
In the middle of the day, we'll close to the edge. And when you take it through the night, remember the way, remember the day.
You know what else?
I should probably
You know what
say
else
English,
has
no,
that?
It's not interesting for anyone. No,
No,
God.
I mean,
See if you know
this
the
is
words.
music
Join
history.
in.
Then another way.
What about this one?
To the edge.
The one that goes.
Through the
I
night.
can't remember if it came before Back to Life or not, but it still went. You know, Back to Life. It goes. Well, there was another track around the same time that slowed that groove down a little to. Do you know what that is?
Which one?
Love. Devotion.
I can't remember what this is.
And their return to innocence.
Sort of reverby soundscapes in the 80s. And
Yeah, well, that Enigma, there was the drum loop that went, and then a load of monks started coming in with no relation to the rhythm.
Oh yeah, there was that whole build-up bit, and then it went into a...
And then the woman goes, love, devotion, and then it goes, it goes to that, and then it goes back to, and the monk's going, so it's quite a unique and original,
Mate,
visionary piece of
you've
music
heard
there.
that song a lot, haven't you, in your household?
Well, you know, I was about 12 or 13 when Return to Innocence came out, and you could not avoid the Return to Innocence. You could not avoid it. I think I even remember the video, and I think it actually had some actual monks in it. Or it might have been some people dressed up as monks.
I think maybe
I'm not
monks
sure.
are generally too pious to be getting involved in the music industry.
Yeah, with Enigma. But I think Enigma,
You never know though.
I think they still tour.
Do they?
You can still go and see
Oh, I mean,
Enigma.
imagine going and seeing
I'd love to
Enigma.
go and see Enigma, to hear all their other songs,
I
you know.
saw Europe once.
Yeah, you did see
did,
Europe.
I worked
It's the
at-
final countdown.
At the garage on Highbury Corner, and Europe were playing. It was very strange. I didn't know any of their other songs.
Nobody
They got
does.
a real.
They don't even
They
know.
got a
them.
real sort of devoted fan base.
Yeah, it's the thing with bands like Europe and Enigma. They know they've got that one-hit song, and when they go on stage every night, they're like, "What are we going to fill the rest of the
Yeah,
time with, lads?"
stand
And so they
up
just
and-
make it all up.
Yeah.
So they've become quite remarkable
Lots of
improvisers.
improv.
All those songs though that we just improvised, they were so forgettable. I can't remember them now. That's what happens every night. And yeah, who else are one-hit wonders? Mark Morrison, Return of the Mac. Rest of his shows, he just shouts into a cup, doesn't he? Because if you sing into a
That's
cup,
the liquid in it.
if you sing into a cup, you sound like Mark Morrison, Return of the Mac. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds just like Mark Morrison. And now the pop stars of today, Ariana Grande and all them, do they sing into a mug?
Nah.
No, they
A
don't.
lot of them just sing over and over again, and then you comp the entire thing and like take out tiny like milliseconds of a bit and then put it together, which
I find that
really don't like that.
no, because to me, you see, recording music, especially a singer, recording music is about capturing a performance of that singer, capturing one moment in time. So if you're piecing a thing together from loads of takes of a singer doing the thing to make this weird, idealized,
It's a bit weird.
it seems
the whole joy of
alien
recording-
to
the
me.
whole joy of recording it is when you get it in one and
Yeah.
way, woo, that's got to be the one, isn't it?
Yeah, the end of Led Zeppelin's amazing In My Time of Dying, which is just a live take by the band, and at the end of it, John Bonham shouts.
Oh, that's got to be the one, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, that's got to be the one, innit? Come and have a listen then.
Yeah.
And there, there's the real world, guys. There's real music. Listen to Led Zeppelin and the Velvet Underground. And,
yeah, I think I talked about this last time. Maybe this thing of like people. We were reading YouTube comments underneath Led Zeppelin records, and people sort of saying, "Oh, I remember the days when we used to do various things that you're not allowed to talk about on the radio because of." Blah blah blah, and then because of William Randolph Hearst, and then so they would be like, reminiscing for when they used to be able to do the things that the state don't like, which isn't really any of their business, but whatever. And then saying, "Oh, why can't it be like that?" It's like, well, just do it. Just decide to do it. Like, there's nothing stopping you. If you're in America, you're allowed to buy it wherever you want. So it's only in England there's a problem. So just go and get back into what you did in your earlier days and listen to music and sort of have interests that are yours. So like, don't give up on it. You know what I mean? It's the only reason punk's dead is because people have decided. Like, I don't feel like I've stopped writing punk music.
No, not at all. Technician Chris there, does he think punk is dead? If you asked him, is punk dead? He'd say no, it's right here.
Well, I mean, it's dead for a lot of people, but that's a choice.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
But
we can be alive and brilliant and marvellous. Let's not be doldrummy and dull. Do you remember a very dull person saying to us once, "I love Led Zeppelin, but only the acoustic numbers"? Well, that's only about 4 or 5 songs, isn't it? So you don't love Led Zeppelin if you only love the acoustic numbers, because that's only about 4 or 5 songs.
There's the one that's like the skiffle one. Is that an acoustic one?
No, I don't think that one is really.
What does it mean?
Speaking,
really?
I think they meant like the slow ballads, of which there's about 2.
Yeah, so that maybe implies that they haven't really been listening to it.
Yeah. Magnificent musicians.
Oh,
Children out there,
wonderful.
if you haven't listened to Led Zeppelin, now is the time to start. Presents, physical graffiti. Goodness gracious me.
It's just
Goodness
beautiful.
gracious.
So yeah, go and listen to that. We can reach on the world. We just kind of play act what the populace did, not the horrible things like from the 60s onwards. Let's just get back into the music and then do something similar. And then
be more Hunter S. Thompson. Be more Jimmy Page.
Just stop.
We found out that in the 1970s, David Bowie became convinced that Jimmy Page was trying to put a curse on him. And so to alleviate this curse, what David Bowie did, I'm not sure how this operates, but he started to bottle his urine and put it in his refrigerator,
because he thought that Jimmy Page
was trying to get his
urine and some witches.
But if you put your urine,
it's much easier.
It's way easier. I mean, if, say for example, you were trying to get my urine, how are you going to get that if it's going down the toilet? That's impossible.
Like the sewage system and stuff. I mean, it's...
Yeah, you can't just extract your own urine from the sewage system, can you?
Well, I don't know, but they're witches. They might have...
Oh yeah, maybe. Maybe they're mystics.
Maybe they've got
like Jeremy Corbell's wife. She's mystic. Yeah. So do you want to hear a lovely song? Would you like to hear a lovely song about David Bowie being scared that he's being cursed by Jimmy Page?
Yeah, let's listen to that.
Well, here you go.
Yeah, Bowie in the tower with the curtains pulled tight, red telephone glowing in the dead of night. Every shadow got a message, every knock got a code, every stranger on the sidewalk got a map of his road. Milk in the fridge, gonna pour that away. What if somebody put a hex on it today? Candles burn low while the city turned cold, and the rumors in the alley getting darker and bold. They say Page got grim while stacked high like gold, ancient symbols in a language 1,000 years old. Black velvet chambers where the smoke clouds rise and the ravens kept secret from ordinary eyes. Now Bowie pacing through the room like thunder, mind running circles while the world going under. Every headline twisted, every single bent, every coincidence feeling heaven sent. Everybody talking but nobody knows. Truth mixed up with the myths and the nightlife throws. The fear grows teeth when the spotlight burns, when you're king of the strange and the whole world turns. And the walls keep breathing, and the floorboards moan, and the ghosts in the static say, you ain't alone. Hey! Thin white shadows in the back of the room. Hey, hey! Everybody looking like a sign of doom. Hey! Can't sleep, can't run, can't hide from the noise when the nights start whispering. You hear no voice. Oh! Who's drawing circles in the midnight air? Who's leaving mysteries everywhere? Oh! Raise your hands if you feel that heat. Thin white shadows got the city on its feet. Yeah. Page in the papers like a wizard king. Every journalist got another wild thing. Alistair books on the shelf in rows and the legend getting bigger every place it goes. Meanwhile Bowie seeing patterns in rain, trying to separate the stories from the strain. Fast life, bright lights, pressure on the brain. When you're living like a comet, everything feels strange. Bodyguards watching every doorway swing. Friends saying, man, don't believe everything, but fear don't listen when it enters the game. It'll paint every cloud with a different name. Looking out the window at the river below, thinking maybe there's a current only certain people know. Maybe fake God operators working underground. Maybe secret hands moving pieces around. Maybe it's the storm inside the crown, when the whole world's staring and won't look down. When you're carrying personas by the dozen every night and all that want control, you turn out the light. And the walls keep breathing, and the city hums like 1,000 hidden engines and invisible drums. Hey! Thin white shadows in the back of the room. Hey! Everybody looking like a sign of doom. Hey! Can't sleep, can't run, can't hide from the noise when the nights start whispering, you hear no voice. Oh! Who's drawing circles in the midnight air? Oh! Who's leaving mysteries everywhere? Oh! Raise your hands if you feel that heat. Thin white shadows got the city on its feet. Maybe the magic wasn't hidden in a spell. Maybe the magic was the stories people tell. Maybe every rumor grew another pair of wings. Maybe every fear became 1,000 different things. Crowds outside screaming names at the sky. Rock and roll royalty passing by. One man's vision, one man's fright. One man's darkness in electric light. Years roll forward and the legends remain, half in memory, half in the rain. Truth and fiction dancing slow together, bound in the storm of a strange old weather. Bowie kept moving, changing his face, running ahead of the rest of the race. Page kept walking his own dark road, while the myths got heavier every load. And somehow in the distance the records still spin. The heroes and villains blur and blend in, because the loudest ghosts that history breeds are the ones that grow from whispers and needs. Thin white shadows, thin white shadows, hey! Who's afraid of the things we don't know? Who's afraid of the things we don't know? Thin white shadows, yeah. Who's chasing truth through the radio glow? Chasing truth through the radio glow. Hey! From the stage to the streets, let it boom! Thin white shadows in the back of the room. Thin white shadows, yeah! The legend get bigger, the night get louder, the record keeps spinning. Come on. Page, give it up for David Bowie's paranoia that Jimmy Page was trying to curse him. Now, come on. Yeah, ruled by the thunder when the bass line rolled. London city full of mystery, story them told. Bowie upon the rooftop, I upon the street. Every passing footstep got a chord in the beat. Boom, bam, heartbeat, kick like a gun. Moonlight flashing him, not trust no one. Whisper in the hallway, smoke in the air. Every little shadow look like somebody there. Them say page have a chamber where the candlelight blaze. Into book and symbols from forgotten days. Truth or a rumour, nobody can say. But the gossip get bigger every single day. Wheel up, wheel up. Pressure increase, mind racing faster than the police. Crowd gone wild, and the tabloids feast. Everybody want a piece of the beautiful beast. Rhythm get dark and the skyline bend. Friend looking strange like a secret angel friend. Telephone ringing at 3:15. Who on the other side? Don't ask me. Oi, King Spirit in the Soho night. Heavyweight drums on electric light. Rock and roll ghost in a Babylon maze. Everybody talking about the man named Page. Forward! Hands in the air when the bass line drop. Rumour train running and it never gonna stop. From the clubs to the mansion, the legend spread wide. With a thin white duke on a dangerous ride. And the AI says that would hit nicely with a classic ragga flow.
Well,
It's not going terribly well, is it, at the moment, the
No.
world? And maybe it's time to actually start being good citizens, because a good citizen says no to fascism. A good citizen doesn't go along with it because it makes their life easier. A good citizen thinks of all their brothers and sisters and in-betweenies. A good citizen thinks that sharing is not an evil thing, and thinks that sharing, and I'm not just on about objects and trinkets, I'm on about
land.
ideas and information. Well, land, yeah.
Water.
Yeah. Do you think it's reasonable that if you're like 60 years old and you've been working your whole life, do you think it's reasonable that you have nothing to show for that? I don't think it is. And I think you deserve better. And the way that we're going to get it better is by starting en masse to say no to the prevalent system, which is, after all, destroying the astral body that sustains your life and the life of your families and your pets.
Everything.
And absolutely everything. And that maybe it's time to start conceiving of a world which is quieter for at least a few years. A world, a society which gives the planet that it's formed on a chance to breathe. Do you remember the first days of the pandemic when the waters in Venice cleared up to the extent that dolphins came to live in Venice? Now, wouldn't that be wonderful? Would you rather be around heavy industry
Or would you rather
or
walk
dolphins?
along? Or would you rather walk along the canal and look at dolphins?
And now, what I haven't talked about this week, and I'm surprised, I haven't talked about the Freemasons this week. And as you know, the Freemasons are now one of my special subjects. And guys, you're going to be my special subject for the rest of my life.
Because of all the little suits and
The little suits, the
It's not
vestments.
just us. Lars von Trier feels like this as well.
Lots of people think the Masons are funny. And guys, you're just going to have to accept it.
Bunwells.
We all know what you're up to anyway.
I mean, isn't Bunwell's Discreet Charms of the Bourgeoisie? Isn't that basically about some Masons?
Well, I suppose you could say that,
like
yeah.
the guy who's doing all the dodgy sort of like, I don't know, the diplomat guy or whatever.
But guys, Masons out there, right? Any Masons who are listening, how do you feel knowing you're so much cooler than everyone else, huh? You've got these little secrets and you've got your little vestments and things. So much cooler than everyone else. Check out the cool website, freemasonfans.blogspot.com. The other subject that I haven't touched on this week, and again, I'm very disappointed in myself, is my little father. Kim
Yeah.
Jong-un in North Korea. How's he doing,
I
Lottie?
don't know, I haven't kept up with it lately.
Well, he's been saying, don't drop any nuclear weapons. If you do, I will.
I thought that was the mutually assured destruction thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. But also, I mean, obviously, he's still training up Big Sister to be the Big Sister of North Korea after he decides to retire and go into full-time
Standing on the mountain.
cheese making. I tell you though, what is really interesting about Little Father this week is that I wrote to him and I told him, "Here, Little Father, you know what? You should team up with that cheese-making man from Blur, the band Blur." And Little Father, Kim Jong-un, he wrote back to me and said, "I'm not really into the music, but I went on some blogs and that guy sure does know his cheese." So there is going to be a bit of a Blur, North Korea crossover. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's post-modernism for you.
Yeah, well, you know, this thing of like
Wild.
bands teaming up with countries, Blur and the cheese guy from Blur and North Korea,
Yeah.
Radiohead and Israel. It's you know, this is obviously the new thing. Maybe I should team up with a country.
I want to team up with Beer to Will.
Beer to Will.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's a place in sort of near Sudan. That
Oh, is it
it's like,
that no man's land?
well, I mean, people live there, but like in terms of sort of like imaginary state like regulations, then there's some weird thing where nobody can work out who owns it, and so functioning no one does.
Actually, I don't think I will team up with a country. I think instead I'm going to team up with a religion. I think I shall be the Vatican's resident artist. No, as of today. Since you're the Oracle of Delphi, I'll be
I'm
the
fine with
Pope's
that.
resident artist. I think he'd be fine with it.
I think he'd be alright with it. He was
Yeah.
talking about artists the other day.
It was. The Pope was saying artists got to pull the
And
finger out.
They do that
Artists
circus.
got to stop being lazy and lame and pathetic and bootlicky. Artists got to stop doing the same thing over and over again because they think it will sell tickets. Artists have to take responsibility for the future because that's what artists do. Yeah. And, you know, all my friends who are artists now are visionaries. And so when you're sitting down to, you know, make something that's exactly the same as the thing you made yesterday and the day before and the day before, then no, I start from zero. We try something new. We try to invent, and we try to speculate. And that's how we get it. We don't get a better world without speculation, dear listeners. We don't get a better world without experiment and playing about. And it's also the responsibility of the people who aren't artists. It's a responsibility of audiences to give some time to new ideas. Because guess what? That might just improve your life and your world as well. Now, I know this all sounds a little bit didactic, and we're not supposed to be didactic, but by the point where we're 3 years into a live streamed 4K Holocaust, I'll be as didactic as I damn well like, frankly. It's time for people to start speaking directly about what they consider is necessary at this most dangerous point in history there has ever been.
And I've just had another thought. If anyone in particular who despises the two of us has a problem with us speaking directly anywhere, that is the literal profile of autism. So you having a
Yeah.
problem with me with me speaking directly means that technically you're sort of like, well, I mean, it's sort of like kind of goes into sort of metaphysical disability discriminatory.
I just don't get why you would speak
territory,
anything
doesn't it?
but
But like,
directly.
what are you expecting me to do? Like, I've got it on paper that I'm not very good or have the will or inclination to go around lying about stuff because I really can't be bothered. And also, B, you have to actually be able to understand sort of other people's wants and desires to know the thing that you're supposed to lie about that they want you to say.
Yeah.
So I just like, what's the point of that? I don't want to lie.
And my final tip today is if you have friends or family who are still, after all this time, backing unapologetically the wonderful world of colonial slaughter, then don't talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
Ever again. You're much better off without them. They're
Blood.
psychopaths.
Blood is thicker than water.
Big up Chris, keep sound so clean. Backstage hero behind the scene. Lights go up, applause so loud.